guys. I bring you here today to talk about, I'll admit it, out in the open, this is my favorite Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition class.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something scandalous.
Oh, no. We're talking about Rogue. I love me some good old Rogue. Because nothing is better, nothing is an easier time than just chilling out, never being attacked, always dealing mass amounts of damage in the back. And every now and then, it's kind of like more socially acceptable for you to steal stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because, Rogue.
Or if you're dyslexic, Rouge.
Rouge.
And you know what's great about being able to steal stuff as a rogue? You never have to pay for chicken nuggies.
Exactly my point. So, welcome to Traveler's Tips and Tales. Today we're talking about Rogue. I'm Jake.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Ben.
And I love rogues so much. They are just so amazing. They're so broken. They're so broken. Like, it's crazy. But anyways.
Yeah.
Going into their key abilities.
The amount of people that, hate on Rogue makes you wonder why they're, still hating on Mystic.
I know, right? Like,
I feel like the people who hate Rogue are the people that love Ranger.
Oh, no. That means they're the majority. Ew.
Oh, no. Anyways. Going into the Rogue, just like all of our other episodes, we start off with our key abilities. And I'm here to talk about everyone's favorite key ability. No one else cares about any other ability score other than Dex. Dex is the only important one. You can't prove me wrong. Okay, I guess maybe intelligence. But really, it's Dex. Dex is your wheelhouse. It's how you pick locks. It's how you almost all of your attacks. It's how you sneak around and stealth. It's how you do backflips in the air because you're totally awesome and way cooler than anyone else in the party, and you deserve all 100% more cuts of every pay because you're the rogue. It's also how you swipe stuff. Like bigger cuts from the rest of the party.
Jacob was a pretty greedy rogue.
I feel like I was a very less greedy rogue compared to others. But also pretty greedy.
Compared to, Alejandro, you're not that greedy.
Like I rode that line, I feel like. You know
who was a great rogue that was like an anti-rogue? Red.
The coin. Give him his title. He worked hard for it. He deserves it.
He did work hard.
And then I reported him to where to find him from the guards.
Yeah.
And Cade smiled because anytime another rogue goes down, Cade smiles a little bit.
And just for the listeners, this was a rogue that basically his mission was to just deposit coins in everybody's pockets without them knowing. And they all had a very simple mark on them, so that way you knew that it was from him.
Mm-hmm. He literally tried to do it to the king
of Caldan. He succeeded.
Yep. But anyways, welcome to Rogue. Starting off with the unique features, we start off with the wholly best unique feature for the entire class. I think that no one can argue that this is the backbone of Rogue. We're talking about sneak attack. Beginning at first level, you get this off right at the bat. You know how to strike subtly and exploit foes' distraction. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 damage to one creature you hit with an attack if you have advantage on the attack roll, or they are, engaged with another member of your party or an ally. The attack must use a finesse weapon or a ranged weapon, though. The enemy that's within 5 feet of them, like your ally, cannot be incapacitated, and you can't have disadvantage on the attack roll. So if you have disadvantage on the attack roll, sucks to suck, loser. No sneak attack. But anyways, you also get extra damage as you gain higher levels, and the way to calculate that extra d6 damage is you roll half of your level rounded up extra d6. So if you're level 7 per se, you would roll, your normal damage die plus 4 sneak attack damage. Well,
is it rounded
46. Up? 46. Yes, it's rounded up. It's amazing. I love it so much.
Nice.
Yeah. Sneak attack, the backbone of the rogue. Second, maybe only to the next ability.
Yes, and that ability is Cunning Action. And basically, what this allows you to do is move faster by using your bonus action to either dash, disengage, or hide.
Which I can attest has saved my life. Actually, it just saved my life last session I played as my rogue that I played.
It saved my tush as Cade literally every combat encounter because Cade did not have any hit points for the life of him. So every round he hit at the end of his round so that no one could ever attack him because they can't see him. They don't even know where he's at. You can't attack something you don't know where it's at.
Yeah, or if there's nowhere to hide, you can just run triple speed every turn.
Yeah, just hightail and get it out of there.
By using your movement and then taking the dash action and then taking the dash bonus action.
Yep.
Or, as I did, disengage twice and then run.
Yeah. It's definitely a very useful ability.
Yes.
The next one is Uncanny Dodge, which you get at 5th level. And when an attacker hits you with an attack that you can see, you can use your reaction to have that damage.
Very useful. Very useful.
That saved Jacob's rogue so much.
Also very easy to forget sometimes. Like, as a rogue, you don't use your reaction that much. So, like, if you'd ever take damage, you probably should use it unless you think you're going to get attacked again for more damage.
Yeah.
I can probably guess that I forgot to use this ability at least, like, 50 times.
Yep, you just tanking damage, bro.
Yeah, I'd just be like, ooh, that sucks.
It was funny because you'd be taking so much damage and then you're like, wait, how am I getting low? So, oh.
Well,
oh, yeah.
If you're a little bit more reliable at remembering things than Jacob, then you'll like this next ability a lot. It's called Reliable Talent.
Mm-hmm.
And what it allows you to do is any skill that you add your proficiency bonus to, when you roll below a 10, you can just treat the roll as a 10.
Yeah. And I've seen DMs rule it as this also counts for natural ones. And I've also seen DMs rule it that doesn't count for natural ones.
So, according to the rules as written, yes, it counts for natural ones.
Because it is a die roll lower than 10.
Yeah, but according to the rules as fun, it does not.
Yeah, natural ones still go through. Which is actually the way I rule it, because Rogue is broken enough. And also, you could just solve this problem easily by playing a halfling. There you go. Bye-bye natural ones. Unless you roll it twice, then you deserve it.
Or just take the lucky feat. At this point, you've already had at least 2 ability score increases.
Yeah. Actually, level 10, Rogue is actually one of the few classes that gets an extra one. They get one more than everyone else, and it's at 10th level.
Okay, so you've had at least 3. So, I mean, that's assuming that you didn't go with other classes to start out.
Yep.
Taking some multi-class abilities there.
Yeah.
At 14th level, you get Blind Sense. As long as you are able to hear, you are aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creature within 10 feet of you.
Oh,
good luck sneaking up, man.
I love it so much. My favorite thing about the Rogue is that it's the bane to all other rogues. It was so great for my overly cautious, superstitious rogue, especially, because he's like, never trust anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, you know what's even worse, though, than a rogue attacking another rogue? Your own rogue attacking your own party.
Mm.
And that's why
can be bad.
You need a slippery mind to gain advantage on wisdom saving throws. Or proficiency, sorry. You get proficiency in wisdom saving throws.
Yeah, how nice. And you get that at 15th level.
Yes, you do. So by 15th level, you should be able to body your entire party if you have the high enough stealth. So yeah, that's a good time to get that.
I think we all agreed in the party that Cade had, he could probably take everyone in the party individually on a 1v1.
Yeah,
If they
because he
were
would just
both like
outrun them and
at stat.
outshoot them.
He could just outrun them and keep sniping them. There's no problem. And they'll just never know where he is, and it's just terrible. Yeah. It's pretty bad. The next level, I mean, like level 15 ability, Slippery Mind. It's not like crazy, right? But like Rogue gets so many other ones that are just outlandishly crazily good that you're just like, I'm not even mad. Like my 15th level was but I don't even care. Like I got reliable talent and an ability score improvement at the same time. Like
it's one of those things where it's like my 15th level ability really isn't that good, but it's okay because I got great abilities that are better at like first level, third level.
Every other level, you're like, oh hell yeah. Anyways, the next ability is Elusive, and that's at 18th level. These are like some of the really good ones up here, right? Because you worked hard to get here. Elusive, you are so evasive that attackers rarely gain the upper hand against you. And by rarely, they mean literally never, because no attack roll has advantage against you while you aren't incapacitated. For any reason. No one ever has advantage. Like I said, Rogue is just the bane to every other rogue, because no rogue can get advantage on another rogue if they're high enough level. There's no sneak attack going on around here. You roll that die straight. Gotta roll that die by itself. Unless you got another homeboy, like, crouching up on me, you know. You ain't getting that sneak attack.
Yeah, a one-on-one fight between two master rogues would take so
It would take so long because all of their extra damage is just down the freaking drain.
Because you got that uncanny dodge just destroying it.
They get one attack per turn with probably like a dagger or a short sword or something,
or a bow or something.
Rapier.
Who knows? Yeah.
A rapier is your highest chance of damage. Highest damage. So dumb. Plus, when you combine that with their level 20 ability, it gets even worse. This ability is called Stroke of Luck at level 20. If your attack misses a target within range, you can turn the miss into a hit. Alternatively, if you fail an ability check, you can treat the D20 roll as a 20.
Mm-hmm.
And once you use this feature, you can't use it until you finish a short or a long rest, which means all you have to do is take a nap. And you can just nat 20 anything you try.
Any ability check.
After you know you failed.
Or, you know, it's like, oh no, I somehow didn't hit, and now I won't get sneak attack. I'm just gonna treat it as a hit.
just go chill for an hour.
And then I don't you know, if I want to do the ability again, I go take a nap for an hour.
Yeah, and for like assassin rogues who get automatic sneak attack on their first hit, like triple sneak attack, it's like, I'd just like to hit. I know I missed, but no.
I would like to hit, please. Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
The rogue is just, I feel like the rogue is always like the conversation between the rogue and the DM. It's just like the DM is like, this happens to you. And the rogue goes, no. I would like that to not happen, please. And he goes, well, what do you got for me? And he goes, here is this specific feature that goes against literally what you're trying to do to me. And the DM's like, alrighty then, I guess you're good. Like,
the DM's just like, well, you're dead. So, you know. How did I die? Poison. I'm a dwarf. Poison. Very deadly poison.
And it's like, if you use that ability during a fight, and then you lose like 20 or 30 hit points, you know, it's beneficial to take a short rest anyway, because then you could just re-up your health with spending hit dice.
Yeah. Those are all the unique features. And Michael's going to yell at me for this next one because it's not unique, because it's also in Monk, which is my second favorite class anyways. And kind of because it also has this feature, I will say to the listeners, this is probably my favorite ability in all of D&D. 5th edition. Just overall, this one takes the cake for me. It's called Evasion. I love Evasion so much. For Rogue, you get it at 7th level, and you get it at 7th level for Monk too. But you can nimbly dodge out of the way of certain area effects. Basically, anytime that you have to make a dex save, where if you pass, you take half damage, or if you pass, you take all the damage, and if you fail, if you pass, you take half damage. Yeah. I'm just going to restart from the top. So basically, anytime you have to make a dex save to where when you pass, you take half damage, and where you fail, you take all the damage, as a rogue, you're just like, no, screw you. If I fail, I take half damage, and if I pass, I take no damage. Get out of here. Not in my house. I don't want that. No damage, please. Thank you very much. And then, even if you do take damage, you could just be like, uncanny dodge. It's halved. The half is halved.
Yeah, we try to bring you just unique features in these, but Jacob was so adamant about it, and because it's him running this episode, there was no winning an argument with it. So
I just love this ability so much. It's so good. But anyways, I digress. We can move on to the subclasses. Starting off with the first subclass. It's from the PHB, and it is actually the subclass that our good friend Cade is. Cade the Rogue, the Halfling Rogue. It is Arcane Trickster. And with Arcane Trickster, starting at 3rd level, one of the cantrips that you get to learn has to be Mage Hand, which is okay. You know, like, it's pretty good for a rogue specifically, because it also gets these features where you can stow one object the hand is holding in a container worn or carried by another creature, so you can, like, stow and pickpocket coin, or, like, you know, whatever you want from people's pockets and stuff with your mage hand from 30 feet away now. Congratulations. You can also retrieve an object from said container worn or carried by another creature, and also you can use your thieves' tools to pick locks and disarm traps at a range. So, you know, if you mess it up and a little spell explosion or something happens, maybe you won't hit you because you're kind of farther away now. And the spellcasting ability for this is Intelligence for all of your spells. You are considered a half-caster, so you're not going to get those big level spells, but you will get those, like, level spells that I really love, which are, like, 2nd and 3rd level area, where, like, they're just, like, so effective. I love them. Those ones always, like, that's the sweet spot in spells, if you ask me. But anyways, that's pretty much it for 3rd level, and for the most part, you know, just get extra spell slots for each of your, like, level ups, going up at a half-caster's rate. And starting at 9th level, you will also get an ability called Magical Ambush. And if you are hidden from a creature when you cast a spell on it, the creature has disadvantage on any saving throw made against the spell. The saving throw the spell makes against the spell... Wait. I'm just going to start over. Magical Ambush. Starting at 9th level, if you are hidden from a creature when you cast a spell on it, the creature has disadvantage on any saving throw it makes against the spell this turn. So your spells are more likely to be effective because whatever it has disadvantage on it. Which is pretty great. Starting at 13th level, you also gain the ability that's called Versatile Trickster, and you gain the ability to distract targets with your mage hand. As a bonus action on your turn, you can designate a creature within 5 feet of the spectral hand created by the spell. Doing so gives you advantage on attack rolls against that creature until the end of the turn. So, if for some reason you don't have advantage on something, and you really need it, just use your bonus action to cast Mage Hand and make it do a little wave at some random dude who's totally by themselves, and then, you know, use your action to shoot the guy. Or, you know, attack him or stab him or whatever. I don't know. However you take the chip off the old block there, you know. But yeah. And then, starting at 17th level, you get the last ability for Arcane Trickster, which is called Spell Thief. and you gain the ability to magically steal the knowledge of how to cast a spell from another spellcaster. Immediately after a creature casts a spell that targets you or includes you in its area of effect, you can use your reaction to force the creature to make a saving throw with its spellcasting ability modifier. The DC equals your spell DC, and on a failed save, you negate the spell's effect against you and steal the knowledge of the spell, if it is at least first level and of a level you can cast. It doesn't need to be a wizard spell, which is the class of spells that you get to choose from as a rogue. You can only choose from any spell that a wizard can learn. But for the next 8 hours, you know the spell and can cast it using your spell slots. The creature can't cast this spell until the 8 hours have passed. So you basically take their ability to cast whatever certain spell that they have, so long as you can cast it at the spell slot of what it's supposed to be cast at. Like whatever level spell it is. Which is pretty crazy. Also, once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. So you only get to do it once a day at max. But still, like, chances are you're not going to be fighting that many spellcasters in one day. So it's like, you're just like, hey, is this like this random spellcaster's like bread and butter spell? I'm going to make it so they can't do that anymore. It can't be a cantrip, unfortunately, so if you're going against like a warlock or something, that won't be as effective, but still. Just like, screw you, loser. It's pretty great, if you ask me.
And if you are going up against a bunch of spellcasters in a day, just play the anti-mage subclass.
Yeah.
Just start whacking those spells.
Yeah, just be like, Quacha, Ricochet. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Arcane Trickster. It's not much. I would argue it's probably one of the worst spell subclasses for Rogue in the PHP, but it has a special home in my heart.
Well, I'll tell you what has a special home in my heart, because as you had Cade, I now have a rogue as well.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Lorenzo, and he is an assassin rogue.
Oh, the good ones. Okay, cool.
So, starting at 3rd level with this particular subclass, you get an ability called Assassinate. Who would have thought that the assassin would get to assassinate people? You have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn in the combat yet. So on the first turn, if they haven't taken that turn yet, you just dead. They're gone. You have advantage, which means you automatically have sneak attack. Oh yeah, it's great. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. So if you pop out of nowhere, that guy hasn't gone yet, you just, sneak attack, critical hit, boom, dead.
Nice.
That's at 3rd level. Also at 3rd level, you get proficiencies with the Disguise Kit and the Poisoner's Kit, which is amazing. 2 bonus tool proficiencies, that's like unheard of in any other
From your class specifically is pretty crazy. Normally classes don't really give those out.
Yup. You also get, at 9th level, Infiltration Expertise. You can unfailingly create false identities for yourself. You have to spend, I think it's 7 days and 25 gold to establish the history, profession, and affiliations of your identity, and there's a bunch of other rules for it, but essentially you can establish fake identities wherever you go, so that you can just disguise yourself and turn into that person, and then walk into wherever you're trying to infiltrate, walk up to the guy you're trying to kill, and kill them, and then leave. And it all gets blamed on whatever identity you just created.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom, you just met your doom, you know? Yeah, classiest guy in the room. At 13th level, you gain the ability Imposter. You gain the ability to unerringly mimic another person's speech, writing, and behavior, as long as you spend at least 3 hours studying these 3 components of the person's behavior. It's pretty amazing. He's just like, 3 hours of just looking at this guy, watching him do his thing. It's just like, I could be him.
Yeah, just do some recon and then...
Yeah, and you also have advantage on deception checks to avoid being detected as not that guy. At 17th level, though, is when I think Assassin really comes out to its fullest extent. You get an ability called Death Strike. You become a master of instant death When you attack and hit a creature that is surprised, which, by the way, since it's surprised, it's automatically a critical hit and automatically
sneak attack
because of your level 3 ability.
Mm-hmm.
That creature must make a Constitution saving throw against your save DC, which is Dex mod plus proficiency plus 8. And on a failed save, double the damage of your attack against that creature.
Ooh, so you're doubling the crit, which is already doubled.
Yes. And you're doubling, and no, not just the crit though. You're doubling everything. Mm-hmm. So you're doubling your die damage, you're doubling your modifier damage, you're doubling like every additional bit of damage that you have. Anything that attack has, you're just like double it.
At the very end, you just times 2, and then you tell the good DM, "Good sir, is he alive? This poor sucker."
Wait, hold on. So would that essentially be 4 times the dice and double the modifiers?
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
That is what that is.
Okay, just making sure that I'm doing the math right there.
Also, when you ask the DM that question, the DM, is this poor little sucker dead? The DM goes, he had 8 hit points.
Because, you're excited and you do it to a kobold.
Yeah. Or like
hear me out.
Guard or something.
Even worse. Okay, hear me out. You do it, and you're like, is he dead? And the DM goes, he's not even bloodied. And then you're like, not me. Also, he's attacking you.
Yeah.
With an intelligence save.
Oh no.
I would like to hide with my bonus action.
No. Legendary action.
As a rogue, you get proficiency in intelligence saves.
It's a charisma save.
Oh, dang. Well, see you guys later. I'm dead.
I did my damage while I could.
I may be level 17, but I've got like 20 hit points. Peace out, guys.
I love this subclass for my character, Lorenzo, because Lorenzo doesn't need a disguise kit. Because he is a changeling.
Yeah.
And he is, without a doubt, I think, the greatest assassin that I have ever seen or heard of in D&D. He is literally born to be an assassin. It's so amazing. I feel like so much.
I feel like the changeling is such a good fit for him too, because don't you you just get to switch your appearance at whim, right? There's no limit to it, right?
Yeah.
And so just as an assassin profession, it just makes so much sense that he's literally just always different.
Yeah, well, Lorenzo started off as a bounty hunter, built up a reputation doing that, and then he started making himself look like the guy who taught him how to be a bounty hunter to go on assassination missions. And his mentor was like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Assassinations." And he was like, "Don't do that." And he was like, "I'm gonna keep using your face though. Okay, bye."
Thanks, bye.
And he hasn't talked to him since.
Assassin's low-key whack, but
Here's the thing, though. As cool as Assassin is, what I'm about to read to you is basically all those cool little tricks that Assassins get that aren't combat related. Inquisitives can counter it.
Crap.
All right.
Yeah, so at 3rd level, you actually get 3 abilities. The first one is called Ear for Deceit. You develop a talent for picking out lies. Whenever you make an insight check to determine whether a creature is lying, treat a roll of 7 or lower on the d20 as an 8. That's pretty solid. You also get Eye for Detail. You can use a bonus action to make a perception check to spot a hidden creature or object, or to make an investigation check to uncover or decipher clues. And the final thing that you get at 3rd level is called Insightful Fighting. You gain the ability to decipher an opponent's tactics and develop a counter to them. As a bonus action, you can make an insight check against a creature, and you can make an insight check against a creature you can see that is not incapacitated, contested by the target's deception check. If you succeed, you can use your sneak attack against the target even if you don't have advantage. but not if you have disadvantage. The benefit lasts for 1 minute or until you successfully use the feature against a different target. All three of those together.
Sorry, go ahead.
All three of those together are pretty solid for 3rd level.
Yeah, that first one is just like reliable talent, but at level 3 and a little bit less like good. Like just the littlest bit.
It's less good by about 2.
And also by the fact that you can only use it on insight checks, but who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it takes to detect Lorenzo's lying.
Yeah.
Although he does have
or
expertise
any
in
other
deception,
rogues
so.
lying. Like,
yeah, it's pretty solid.
But I mean, at the same time, this rogue probably has expertise in insight. So
yeah,
so it's like a battle of minds, just like.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
At 9th level, you get an ability called Steady Eye. You get an advantage on perception or investigation checks if you move no more than half your speed on that turn. It's kind of meh. I mean, you're not going to use perception or investigation too often in combat situations.
You're just slow walking.
It's great for non-combat situations, though.
Yeah, you basically just have advantage on perception and investigation.
Yeah, because like, especially as a rogue, you've got the movement to make up whatever amount like you've lost from your party, from you just like trailing back for a second to like look at something real hard, you know? Like,
yeah.
Easy.
At 13th level, you get an ability called Unerring Eye. Your senses are almost impossible to foil. As an action, you sense the presence of illusions, shape changers not in their original form, and other magic designed to deceive the senses within 30 feet of you, provided you are not blinded or deafened. You sense that an effect is attempting to trick you, but you gain no insight into what is hidden or into its true nature. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum 1, and you regain all expended uses of it when you finish a long rest. So you're an assassin, and you just disguise yourself. Too bad, I still know that it's a disguise.
Oh no, so wait, Lorenzo!
It's like a ping then, right? Because you just use it as an action, and then it doesn't say like it lasts for a certain amount of time. So it's just like it's like a ping, like a radar ping, kind of.
Yeah.
It's interesting that it's based off your wisdom modifier instead of intelligence, because most of the rogue subclasses are like intelligence.
Well, because, I mean, if you're trying to perceive something
I guess that's fair,
or be insightful into something, then you would use your wisdom.
That's fair, I guess, yeah.
Given it's only a good counter to Lorenzo if Lorenzo gives them a reason to use it.
That's true. Because they have
have to lie so well that he believes without any doubt that I am not Lorenzo.
Or if you just stay within, like, 31 feet instead of 30. Then you're set.
Imagine I'm just walking down the road and I just look at my party and I'm like, I have to walk on the other side of the street now. And
yeah.
Like, why? What's going on? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
I know that guy from somewhere.
Oh,
and then,
man.
you know, your party doesn't question it because you're the rogue. You know, you always know that guy that's across the street that you're like, ooh, I gotta not look at that guy.
Especially if you're an assassin.
Yeah, it's just like, ooh, that guy, not on good terms.
I don't think they know I'm an assassin yet, actually.
That's great.
That's
the
going
way
to be an awkward conversation.
That's the way it should be.
I'm not going to lie, it's going to be really awkward, because I'm known for having assassinated a monarch and blamed it on their wife. And doing it for a princess so that she could take the throne, and there's a princess in my party, and I'm just like,
oof.
I didn't kill your parents, probably, maybe, I don't know.
Alright. The final ability at 17th level. This is an ability that you don't feel like you're doing enough damage, right? So you want to do a little bit more. Well, this definitely helps it out. It's called Eye for Weakness. You learn to exploit a creature's weaknesses by carefully studying its tactics and movement. While your insightful fighting feature applies to a creature, your sneak attack damage against that creature increases by 3d6.
You know, that's kind of insane considering how your sneak attack at this point is already 9d6.
No, at 17th level will be 8.
No, it's 9. Round it up. You round it up.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and by level
Pretty
20,
brutal.
that's a total of 13
13d6.
Yikes.
On a normal hit, imagine if you crit.
Oh, boy.
We're doing like Cade levels of damage here. This is...
Ooh.
Now imagine if you're playing in an epic campaign and you go up to level 40 and you can choose to just do the same class but 2 different subclasses. Combine that with Assassin.
And Inquisitive. Oof.
Ooh, man. That'd be what? So that's 46d6 of just sneak attack. If you crit.
Plus your modifier doubled because of Assassin.
Yeah. So
Rogue's
good.
broken. Did we mention
So
that Rogue
good.
is kind of broken?
Yeah,
Listen.
stop hating on Mystic. Hate on Rogue.
Monk is the most broken, but Rogue is right up there.
I don't know, man.
All I'm saying is...
Michael, I think you're confusing the class being broken with my characters being broken.
Yeah.
No, Monk is broken. Monk is
I
broken.
think most rogues would body most monks, but there are some monks that could body any rogue.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what my
Those are facts.
opinion on that is.
Those are facts.
And like it doesn't even matter what rogue, that particular monk or like that kind will just walk up and be like, "No, bam."
Oh, dude, my monk would get absolutely demolished by any rogue, if you ask me.
All right. The next subclass is called Mastermind. You're basically just using your mind as a weapon. You're playing mind games, man. That's what it is. At 3rd level, you get 2 abilities. The first one is Master of Intrigue. You gain proficiency with Disguise Kit, Forgery Kit, and 1 gaming set of your choice. You also learn 2 languages of your choice. And additionally, you can unerringly mimic the speech patterns and accent of a creature that you hear speak for at least 1 minute, enabling you to pass yourself off as a native speaker of a particular land, provided you know the language. That's pretty solid, being able to blend into your surroundings.
Dude, it's kind of like you took the actor feat, which everyone loves. It's such a good feat, right, guys?
Oh my god, I love Actor so much.
Actor feat, great feat, right? It's like you took that feat for free, you know?
Also, at 3rd level, you get Master of Tactics. You can use the help action as a bonus action. Additionally, when you use the help action to aid an ally in attacking a creature, the target of that attack can be within 30 feet of you rather than 5 feet of you if the target can see or hear you. Hey, so my buddy way over there, 30 feet away, I'm going to first fire an arrow at the enemy he's attacking, and then I'm going to use bonus action to give him help on his attack.
This is what that ability basically is. Ready for this? Hey, get that guy over there! That's it. That's the ability.
Yeah. You're
But it
basically a bard.
But it works, though, is the thing.
At 9th level, you get Insightful Manipulator. If you spend at least 1 minute observing or interacting with another creature outside of combat, you can learn certain information about its capabilities compared to your own. The DM tells you if the creature is your equal, superior, or inferior in regard to 2 of the following characteristics of your choice: intelligence score, wisdom score, charisma score, and, if any, class levels. As the DM's option, you might also realize you know a piece of the creature's history or one of its personality traits if it has any. That's pretty cool, to just be able to learn about whatever creature you might be going up against.
You get inside their head a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Great if you have a DM that homebrews things.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic if you have a DM that homebrews things. Alright, 13th level, you get Misdirection. You can sometimes cause another creature to suffer an attack meant for you. When you are targeted by an attack while a creature within 5 feet of you is granting you cover against that attack, you can use your reaction to have the attack target that creature instead of you. If an enemy is trying to shoot you with a bow and arrow and another enemy is right up in your face with a sword, guess what? That enemy with the sword is now getting hit with that bow and arrow.
Who needs to uncanny dodge when you can just negate all of it and make that guy take it instead?
Yeah,
or
maybe that guy has one hit left.
Dude, and if that, person, it doesn't say it has to be an enemy. If that person just happens to be like the party tank or something, that's fine too.
So imagine this, right? You're a small being, whether that be a gnome or a halfling or whatever, and you're just riding around on the tank's back. It's always able to take that hit for you.
Every time.
Every time.
A reaction.
Yeah. Because if you're on its back, it's most likely providing you cover.
It's pretty great.
All right, the 17th level ability you get is called Soul of Deceit. Your thoughts cannot be read by telepathy or other means unless you allow it. You can present false thoughts by succeeding on a deception check, contested by the mind reader's insight check. Additionally, no matter what you say, magic that would determine if you are telling the truth indicates you are being truthful if you so choose. And you cannot be compelled to tell the truth by magic.
Get wrecked, Zone of Truth specifically.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't just say, Zone of Truth doesn't work on you.
Yeah, it's like one of the only spells.
But they don't know that it doesn't work on you.
Yeah, I know.
Basically gives the same information.
Yeah.
But, in case there's, some homebrew spell or something like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
The wording is there. The wording is there. It's fair.
It gives options.
Yeah.
Wizards of the Coast was like, you know what? We're going to be releasing a lot of mind control spells soon. We don't know when it'll be. It's been a few years, but we're going to do it.
Still hasn't come out yet, but,
Who knows? Maybe in Tasha's Cauldron.
Yeah, maybe.
I say that, and I'm pretty sure Tasha's Cauldron comes out... God, when does it come out? It comes out a day before this is released. So you guys will already know if you were that interested.
I'm pretty sure it happens by the time this comes out.
It happens literally a day before.
Yeah. But hey, not when we recorded it, so that's fine. They'll never know. Anyways, moving on to Scout. Another one of my favorite subclasses for Rogue. Because it is another one of those rare instances. While it is rare, it's still bad that it's an instance in the first place and that it happened more than once. Another better alternative to Ranger.
Every class has one.
Not everyone, but a good amount of them have a better alternative to Ranger. But here I present to you the Scout Rogue. Starting at 3rd level, you get 2 abilities. And the first one is called Skirmisher. And starting at 3rd level, you are difficult to pin down during a fight. You can move up to half your speed as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you. The movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. That is great for all rogues because you never want to be near combat.
Yeah.
Get me the heck away now. Goodbye. Another ability that you get at 3rd level with Scout is you get the skills called Survivalist. You gain the proficiency in the nature and survival skills if you don't already have it. Your proficiency bonus is also doubled for any ability check that you make that uses either of those proficiencies. Congratulations, you just got 2 more expertise.
Nice.
For a total of 4 at the time and 6 throughout the entirety of your class.
That's solid.
Good job. I don't even care that it's nature. No one ever uses nature, but I don't even care. It's expertise nonetheless, so I'm like, dude, cool. Sounds great.
Give it to me.
Sounds great. I'm not complaining. It's an expertise. Anytime that anyone does have to, for some reason, question the origins of some random plant or whatever, I'm gonna know.
I'm brain gonna write a whole campaign about plants now. Just
exactly, and I will play a Scout Rogue in that game. I will do it. Starting at 9th level, you get another ability called Superior Mobility. And I really like this one because I always play small creatures, so it always just gives me makes up a little bit for what I'm lacking because I'm a small creature. Your walking speed increases by 10 feet, and if you have a climbing or swimming speed, it also applies to those speeds as well. Thank you. Making up for where I'm kind of falling behind because I always play small creatures.
Shout out to Tabaxi who get that climb boost.
Yep. good option for a tabaxi. I could see a tabaxi scout rogue. That'd be pretty cool.
Or,
Anyways.
hear me out. I have another character that has a starting speed of 35 just because he's a half-elf with, like, the wood elf variants.
Yeah.
It's just 45 feet movement speed.
And then you take the mobile feat and get another 10. What am I, a monk? I've got so much extra movement. Anyways, starting at 13th level, you get an ability called Ambush Master. You exceed at leading ambush... you excel at leading ambushes and acting first in a fight. You have advantage on initiative rolls, and in addition, the first creature you hit during the first round of combat becomes easier for you and others to strike. Attack rolls against that target have advantage until the start of your next turn. That's pretty great. That's, like, really good. Because, like, it's not even like some of the other abilities where it's like you have advantage on this one so long as you go before them in initiative. It doesn't matter where you go in initiative. You're going to have advantage on them, and everyone else has advantage on that guy for a turn. So it's like, you know, just like Hail Mary, all of the big attacks right at the start. Get this done with. Come on. Don't give him a chance. And starting at 17th level, you get an ability called Sudden Strike. You can strike with deadly speed. If you take the attack action on your turn, you can make one additional attack as a bonus action. This attack can benefit from your sneak attack, even if you have already used it this turn, but you can't use your sneak attack against the same target more than once in a turn.
Nice.
The biggest problem with Rogue is that you only get one attack. And now you get two attacks. Hook, line, and sinker. Dude. 2 extra expertises, extra 10 feet of movement, all this other stuff. 2 attacks in a turn. I am sold. Thank you, Scout Rogue. That's all I got. That's it. But I mean, whew.
It's good. It's good.
It's some good stuff in there. That's how you make a ranger class. Every one of those just screams out like, this man uses a bow and arrow. I love it. But yeah, that's Scout.
Our next one is Swashbuckler, which I really like. Jacob does not like it because it's kind of a cheap, cop-out.
I have my reasons.
Certain things.
Because every time I've played, throughout the entirety of me playing Cade, one person always got mad at me because they were like, you just, sneak attack is broken. And they were just like always yelling at me about how sneak attack in Rogue in general is broken. And then the one time that they played a Rogue, they played a Swashbuckler Rogue, which is like, this breaks it even further, my guy.
It does. What? It does. I will admit to that. So you excel in single combat and can fight with 2 weapons while safely darting away from an opponent. So Swashbuckler is very good, getting up close and personal in 1v1s. Super good. Mm-hmm. So at 3rd level, you get 2 things. The first thing is Fancy Footwork. You learn how to land a strike and then slip away without reprisal. During your turn, if you make a melee attack against a creature, that creature cannot make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of your turn. Sentinel?
No, mobile.
Mobile, sorry.
Yeah.
Getting some of my feats mixed up.
They're all the Jacob feats.
That's a free feat.
Pretty much.
The other one is called Rakish Audacity. Your confidence propels you into battle. You can give yourself a bonus to your initiative rolls equal to your charisma modifier. You also gain an additional way to use your sneak attack. You don't need advantage on the roll to use your sneak attack against a creature if you are within 5 feet of it, no other creatures are within 5 feet of you, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll. All the other rules for sneak attack still apply.
Sneak attack.
Yeah.
Sneaky snack.
Sneak a snack.
It's like when you're in the middle of combat and then you just pull out a quick granola bar and you just gobble it down, you know?
Yeah.
Sneak snack.
You gotta get that protein in.
Sleight of hand, no one knows.
But so basically, as long as you are against a creature and you're not like being targeted by more than one, then you get sneak attack. That's basically how it boils down.
This is the ability, because the person that I'm talking about was like, all you need is one other person there and you get sneak attack. And I'm like, well, with your subclass, if there's a person there, you get sneak attack. If there isn't a person there, you get sneak attack. What? You're mad at me?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
That is the sole reason that I don't like Swashbuckler. It's just me being stingy with this one argument I had like a year ago.
Yeah. At 9th level, you get an ability called Panache, or Panache, whatever you want to call it. Your charm becomes extraordinarily beguiling. As an action, you can make a persuasion check contested by a creature's insight. The creature must be able to hear you, and the two of you must share a language. If you succeed on the check and the creature is hostile to you, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you, and cannot make opportunity attacks against targets other than you. This effect lasts for 1 minute until one of your companions attacks the target or affects it with a spell, or until you and the target are more than 60 feet apart. If you succeed on the check and the creature is not hostile to you, it is charmed by you for 1 minute. While charmed, it regards you as a friendly acquaintance, and the effect ends immediately if you or your companions do anything harmful.
This ability is interesting because it's good in two different ways. Like, it's usable as a combat thing and a non-combat thing in its own ways, right? Because in combat, it's like a taunt move, which lures them into a 1v1, and if your party members are smart, it stays a 1v1, which makes it better for you, where you have the upper hand, right? And then outside of combat, it's like you get the friends spell for free.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So it's like, what?
Yeah, there's no amount of times that like it caps at for how many times you can use it. It's you can use it however many times you want. It's
like low-key 2 features wrapped into one. Like
one of which is a spell that would expend spell slots.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
At 13th level, you get Elegant Maneuver. You can use a bonus action on your turn to gain advantage on the next acrobatics or athletics checks you make during the same turn. Hey, I want to climb that wall. Okay, make an acrobatics checks. Okay, first I'm going to use Elegant Maneuver.
Or, oh man, I'm grappled.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and break out. But first, I'm going to use my bonus action to give me advantage.
Yeah.
To screw this guy.
And at 17th level, you get Master Duelist. Your mastery of the blade lets you turn failure into success in combat. If you miss with an attack roll, you can roll it again with advantage. Once you do so, you can't use this feature again until you finish a short or long rest.
Just imagine you miss an attack roll for whatever reason, and you didn't already have advantage on it. And then you just go, I'm going to use this ability that's basically the rogue level 20 ability, but earlier and better.
And now because you have advantage, no matter what the circumstances were before, you now get sneak attack.
It's literally stroke of luck, but earlier and better.
Yeah. This is why Swashbuckler is the even more broken rogue.
It's like, what the heck? I feel like they're both equally broken in their own way.
Yeah.
Along with Assassin. Like, the three of those are, like, on high pedestals above all the other rogue subclasses. Like, they're up there.
But yeah, that's it for Swashbuckler.
Alright, hear me out, though.
Yeah.
You guys are all on your high and mighty stuff over here, but...
It is pretty high and mighty.
But sometimes even the highest and mightiest can get brought low by a simple man.
True. That's I would argue that's the whole job of the rogue, is being the low life that brings down the high and mighty. You know?
A man with sticky fingers. Allow me to introduce you to Thief. The subclass of one of my absolute favorite characters that I've ever played. That being Alejandro.
Alejandro!
Yes.
Or Richard.
Or Richard, if you'd prefer. Alejandro has multiple personalities. Don't worry about it. He's kind of like the proto Lorenzo.
Yeah, I still love him. He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. So at 3rd level, when you take this, you get fast hands, which you already knew that you're a rogue, but you get extra fast hands. You can use the bonus action granted by your cunning action to make a sleight of hand check, use your thieves' tools to disarm a trap or open a lock, or use an object action.
Oof.
In combat, in the middle of fighting someone, you can turn around as a bonus action and unlock a door.
Or like a cage. Maybe there's like a captive that's like a very powerful person, and there's just a lock. You know, they're like locked in a cage or something. You can just walk up. Bonus action, still attacking this turn.
Or, this is the more important use of this, I think. You can steal their healing potion.
That's true. And then next turn, use your bonus action to drink it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Truth.
Because you can use your action. Use
bonus action.
Use an item.
An object.
Yep.
You also get at 3rd level 2nd story work. You gain the ability to climb faster than normal. Climbing no longer costs you extra movement. And when you make a running jump, the distance you cover increases by a number of feet equal to your dexterity modifier. Pretty good. Pretty good for climbing all over, you know?
Mm-hmm. You've become Ezio.
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, like, kind of. Like, you climb on stuff better. You can jump farther. I would argue it's kind of
become an athlete.
Ezio-like. Yeah, I guess.
You just become a parkour expert. You're gonna become a free runner.
Ezio.
Okay. So, all the real fans of Assassin's Creed are cringing right now.
I mean, not the whole assassin part, but the whole, you know.
At level 9, you get Supreme Sneak.
Ooh.
Supreme Sneak, my friends. You're even better at sneaking than anyone else. You have advantage on stealth checks if you move no more than half your speed on the same turn. That is amazing. If you do it right, you're already expertised in stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Plus advantage. And it doesn't even say, like, you have to keep that speed. You can go your normal speed after you've spent a turn doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, yes. 13th level, though. You know what I think is the most important thing about Thief? The fact that... the fact that you can steal someone else's things and use them against them. At level 13, you get the ability to use Magic Device. You have learned enough about the workings of magic that you can improvise the use of items even when they are not intended for you. You ignore all class, race, and level requirements on the use of magic items.
Nice.
You know what I'm imagining right now? A certain holy sword that only gives you the appropriate powers if you're at least level 17 in Paladin, and the rogue just picks it up and is like, neat.
I mean, if they can wield it, depending on how hefty the sword may be.
Yeah.
But yeah. Still might not be ideal.
They do have to be physically strong enough.
Yeah. Still may not be ideal because, you know, like sneak attack and all this other stuff that you most likely lose to use said item. But I respect it nonetheless.
Yeah, you could just pick it, or like a gun, a magic gun. Just
hey, it works in a pinch.
Hey, all those warhammers that have the thrown property that are only for dwarves. That's a ranged weapon. It gets sneak attack.
Dwarf is thrower.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And at level 17, you get Thief's Reflexes. You have become adept at laying ambushes and quickly escaping danger. You can take 2 turns during the first round of any combat. You take your first turn at your normal initiative, and your second at your initiative minus 10. But you can't use this feature when you're surprised.
oh no. But you're a rogue, so you're like literally never surprised.
Yeah.
Because of all the other features that you get.
You get 2 turns.
Yeah. Yep.
You get double.
Yep.
Double the sneak attack, or double the hide, or double the run, or
whatever.
Whatever.
Double the anything.
You just get more.
This is just proving more and more that in an epic level campaign, I would just want to play a rogue. Just take all of the subclasses, all of them.
But there's too many.
What a powerhouse that would be.
There's too many,
Plus,
Jacob.
Your sneak attack is out the roof because it's based off your rogue level. So after you go through 21, all of a sudden, you get 11 d6. Because you got 21 levels in rogue.
Rogue.
Dude, being level 50, just having 25 d6.
Yeah,
and then as an assassin...
And all this other stuff, it's like absolutely bonkers how OP it becomes.
As an assassin, on crits you would roll 100 d6.
Yeah. If I was a DM, I would just rule it. Like, for an epic level campaign, I'd just be like, no rogues. No.
Oh my gosh.
Not allowed.
You
Not
fool.
allowed.
You fool. I'm just balancing while keeping in mind that 100 d6 is a possible amount to roll.
That's fair, I guess.
Which means the combat's gonna be difficult anyways.
He's just gonna throw in some absolute tanks.
Your enemies are gonna be like, why does he have 10,000 hit points? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Rogues.
Hey, is he even the boss? No.
No. Well, you see, there's this rogue in the party.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the boss has 100,000.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the subclasses for rogue.
And he deals 72 d10 per hit.
And his AC is 36.
Oh
no,
my God.
his AC is 52, actually.
Jesus. Oh no.
What is this, Pathfinder?
Anyways, that's it. Those are the rogue subclasses. I love them dearly. They are all so absurdly broken for no reason whatsoever. Like I feel like the listeners might be thinking, like, when I say Arcane Trickster is probably the worst, right? They were like, oh man, Jake's being pretty harsh on Arcane Trickster. It's literally the subclass that he chose. And then now they understand. All the other ones are just so absurdly broken.
Yeah, if you ever want to make Jacob salty, just like comment on our Instagram pages all the time about how much rogues suck. and then Jacob will be salt.
I won't be salt. I'll just know that you're wrong. You can't prove it to me. All these abilities are broken, my guy. Get out of my house. Anyways, moving on to roleplay. There are all forms of shapes and sizes of rogues. My favorite, though, is the overly cautious one. The Cade, one might say. In the notes here, I literally wrote, go against the grain, rebel against the rebels, be the rogue that hates all other rogues. You think that the way you fight is trash and you can never trust anyone. Because I think it makes the most sense. As a rogue, right, you know that you are like this, so everyone else could have anything up their sleeve. Gotta be always ready. Never cautious.
Never cautious?
Always cautious.
Wow,
always cautious. Oh no.
That was bold.
And you're already dead. Lorenzo already killed you.
PC just died right now. Cool. Anyways, my next character will be a monk. Anyways,
that is a distant relative of my rogue.
What do you guys think about role-playing rogues? What's your go-to?
For me, I kind of have two thought processes of it. So you could be someone who favors, the things like sticking to the shadows, not really making yourself well known, being more of a mysterious type, you know? Or something that I had the thought of while we were actually in the middle of recording, so I didn't write it down yet. If you've ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you've seen the episode Tales of Ba Sing Se, when Iroh is almost mugged, you could be that guy.
Yeah, just like the nicest dude. You're
just misunderstood.
Yeah.
You're down on your luck. You're just trying to make any bit of money you can any way that you can.
I mean, you are like the lowest life of the city. Like, you are the scum.
Yeah. Just because you're a rogue.
Yeah. Just live into that, you know? Play into that.
Yeah.
Also, never forget, if you are a rogue, you've got to crank insane amounts of edge into your backstory. All parents, dead. Adoptive parents, dead. Killed by a specific race that now you hate.
I'm sorry, is my sorcerer a rogue?
Dude. All of these other things, dead. Family members, dead. Siblings, dead.
Dude,
everyone.
Fun fact. Lorenzo started off not being edgy, and then when I sat down with my girlfriend and made his backstory, she put edge into it herself.
It is mandatory that as a rogue you must have edge. Now get to it.
I have a slightly different opinion on role-playing rogues.
Okay.
I view rogues as the perfect people to be, like, pro-party, if that makes sense. To be the ones who are like, yeah, the party's great. I'm going to help the party. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to fill in the gaps. And in my experience, both the rogues that I have played, their fill in the gap, quote unquote, was I'm going to go off, I'm going to scout, I'm going to find information, I'm going to find loot, I'm going to go and find information and sneak ahead and sneak around and like investigate on my own, and then come back and be like, all right, here's what I found. Okay. And it's especially important for Lorenzo to do that.
The man who's pro-party, but does it without the party all the time.
So here's why. Okay? Because rogues work really well if they are just never seen. And I think that the DM appreciates it, obviously, because you're trying to drive the story forward as much as possible. I do that especially when the party's like, we don't really care about this, and I'm like, well, I'll care for you. I'll go investigate this thing and tell you about it, so then you might be interested. Because a lot of the times, like, you could be like, help me find my dog, and you're like, that's boring, I don't want to do that. But the DM has like this whole quest lined up, like, this dog got kidnapped by like the mafia and is being like sold to like a circus, and they're being transported by like this. I'm like, Jesus. So
Ben, how many times in the time that you've been
don't
do you think I've missed a plot hook?
I said don't ask me this.
I asked it. How many times? Give me a number.
I'm gonna
go
it's
with up there.
Over 100, I would.
Shout out to the day we literally were like, we as players recognize that this is plot hook. We are gonna turn around and go the other way. And Ben was like, all right, guys, give me like 10 minutes to figure something out to give you guys. Screw you guys. And we were like, hey, we're going to look for trouble. The day that Ben literally goes, here is plot hook. And we go, no, thank you.
But yeah, so Alejandro the thief would sneak ahead, he would scout, and he would find loot, and then he would keep it for like himself, quote unquote. Like, someone actually got mad at me at the table. They were like, why are you keeping all the loot? Like stop taking everything. You need to share. And I'm like, dude, relax. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm kind of insulted you would think that of me. Like, and then once we got out of the dungeon, Alejandro was like, okay, here's what I found.
Well, I mean, Alejandro's reasoning for it is kind of iffy. His reasoning is he's the most likely to make it out alive, so he divvies up the cuts after we're done in case someone dies in there. They don't lose their cut, the potential cut that they could have had. they can make a bigger cut for everyone else. So it's like,
but that's
more leaves room for people dying and being left behind, which is so optimistic.
So, but hear me out. It is still pro-party. You're still being like, yes, the party is what I'm working for and towards, right? Like, that logically, ruthless calculus, that is, I'm most likely to live.
I would argue it's not pro-whole party, it's pro-party that can survive.
Well, hear me out, okay?
It is not very no man left behind of you.
I never claimed he was a no man left behind kind
That's
of guy.
true. That's true.
He is very much a pro-organization. Like, this party is my safety net, not this person that died along the way is my safety net. No, he doesn't care. He's dead now. If he's anything like Alejandro, he'll be back later. Okay. Alejandro has escaped hell like so many times. I don't even know how many times. He doesn't even know how many times, but every time they make it slightly harder, and every time he still manages to escape. That's his backstory. And Lorenzo does the same thing, but he's like an assassin, so what he'll do is he'll go off on his own, and he'll just investigate things, because he has a job. He was hired to investigate this town, right? And he hasn't told his party his actual mission yet. He's just investigating on his own. And in the process, he'll find out, like, all this stuff, and he'll come back and be like, oh, by the way, that thing you were looking at, that thing you were, like, trying to figure out what's going on, I know what's going on. Like, here's the people responsible.
But anyways.
But anyways.
Those are ways to roleplay rogue. Just a couple ideas for you guys. But moving on over to the shop here at Ben's low-level items corner.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, Ben's not here. Oh, hi. Oh, hi, Alejandro. What do you got for us?
I have special rogue items.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm listening.
I have items specifically for you.
Ooh.
Okay. So first of all, I have a special amulet.
Okay.
It's called the Amulet of Proof Against Detection and Location.
That sounds very useful.
What does that do?
Excuse me. While wearing this amulet, you.
Hello. Richard,
yes, I am Richard now. You are hidden from divination magic. You can't be targeted by such magic or perceived through magical scrying sensors.
Oh, how useful.
Indeed. For the aspiring thief, it may or may not be the ultimate tool for stealing from your wizard companions.
That's true, yeah.
My second item I have for you are the boots of elvenkind. Because if there's one thing elves did not intend for these boots to be used for, it's thievery. But if there's one thing they're perfect for, it's thievery. While you wear these boots, your steps make no sound, regardless of the surface you're moving across. You also have advantage on dexterity stealth checks that rely on moving silently. My third item.
Okay. I'm all ears.
Are called the gloves of thievery.
Now those don't sound like a rogue item.
Oh, but hear me out, my friend. These gloves are invisible while worn.
Oh.
So you can wear them with any outfit, and they always look fantastic.
Nice.
While wearing them, you gain a +5 bonus to sleight of hand checks and dexterity checks made to pick locks.
Nice.
Just a straight up +5 bonus.
As if you needed it, right?
You don't even need advantage, kid. You'll get advantage from someone else. You get +5.
Yeah, that's.
And one other item, but I have a friend here that I think would be better to tell you about it than I am.
Oh, okay.
Who's your friend?
Yeah. My friend's name is he's Cade. Hey, Cade, buddy.
You're really calling out the fact that my first character didn't have a voice, huh?
Hey, buddy. Can you tell my
it's me, Cade. I know I sound a lot like Jake from Traveler's Tips and Tales, but it's me, Cade.
I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, thanks. Ben also didn't warn me to tell me that he's gonna do this. Let me look up the freaking. Okay. Hey, it's me, Cade. I'm here to tell you about the weapon of warning. I'm pretty sure it's come up a couple of times in episodes past, but it's perfect for your superstitious rogue who's always looking behind their back. This weapon warns you of danger. While the weapon is on your person, you have advantage on initiative rolls, and additionally, you and any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than a non-magical sleep. The weapon magically awakens you and your companions within range if you are sleeping naturally when combat begins. So this is just like the perfect like last resort, and also it's like the only thing that Rogue doesn't like get like just flat out said in any of its abilities is just like you can't be surprised. It's like the one little loophole that's just like filled so perfectly with this item. Also, this weapon can come in literally as any weapon. Like, I'm pretty sure it has all weapons listed here. My rogue specifically had it as a rapier. Never used it as like an offensive weapon, but he always had it attuned. Which was great. Actually, it doesn't even require attunement. You just gotta have it on you. But yeah. It's pretty great. Weapon of warning.
It definitely saved us a couple times, didn't it, Kane?
It saved us many times. But yeah.
Oh, I feel left out because I'm not in that party.
Well, I mean, you DM'd for that party. You gave me this item, Ben.
Yeah, no. But I don't have a character in that party.
You were the man that made it happen.
I'm dead now anyways, so it's fine.
It's okay, Cade's been dead inside for years.
Cade was dead inside long before he even met you, Harbeck.
He may be dead inside, but at least he exists.
That's true. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, I have a rogue character. His name's Cade. He's the special character for today. But I've told you guys about him time and time again, and I'll continue doing it. He's a rogue. He's a halfling, Lightfoot. It's a pretty great combo, if I do say so myself. Props to Past Jake for thinking that up on the first go-through of Dungeons and Dragons. Pretty good combo, if I do say so myself. He's pretty garbage as a character all around because I took a lot of really bad decisions at the early levels and paid for it every level afterwards.
This was a garbage character.
Yeah, just like wasted ASIs, but I made it up for it with other broken feats that aren't normally allowed. That Ben was like, sure. Like backstab. Everyone loves backstab, right? It's a good feat. I think I've talked about backstab before, but if you crit on like the first round of initiative and the first round of initiative only, you get to do 3 times sneak attack damage, or 3 times damage instead of twice your die rolled. It's 3 times your die rolled, which includes sneak attack for rogue. So it's just like anytime it happened, I'd just be like, Ben, do you really want me to roll for this? And sometimes Ben would just be like, you're fine, you don't have to. You do like a minimum of like literally if you roll only ones you still do like 40 damage.
Here's the thing though, I think it's important to note, you'd say, Ben, do I even need to roll? And he's like, no, and you're like, cool, I'm gonna roll anyways.
And then I do it anyways because that's the rogue way, okay? And then every chance you have to show off, you got to.
And then sometimes you'd be like, do I need to roll? And I was like, yeah.
And I go, oh no.
Because like, I mean, like, come on, sixes, come on, sixes.
These damages would average out to like over 100 damage from the one attack.
Yeah.
Like on a lot of occasions, you know. Because if you think about it, my character would be rolling 33 d6. And on average, if each one rolls a 3, that's 99 damage. So that's a lot of damage. Like
it's like, yeah, you'll be getting a couple 1s and 2s, but you'll also be getting some 5s and 6s.
5s and 6s,
and that's a lot of damage.
And with how much you roll, you would get so many 6s.
And also, yeah, because I bless my sneak attack dice before and after every game, they treat me well. So I think Cade probably averaged out to whenever he backstabbed, he got like around 140 or something like that.
Yeah.
Just like absolutely absurd. But yeah. Yeah, Cade, I mean, I guess I could run through your quick play-by-play for Cade. He started out as a slave for the first like 20 years of his life. Then he escaped being a slave because he's way cooler than any other slave, obviously, because, you know, anime protagonist disorder. Being cooler than everyone else at all times possible, I guess. And so he escapes the slavery, and then he just lives in the woods for another 20 years. And then he starts the campaign. And he meets up with a bunch of, actually 3 people that are all died. all of those 3 are dead. One was revived, but after like a good year or 2 of them being like imprisoned in a gem, you know, but whatever. He's lost a lot of his party members. I remember past Jacob kept track of how many party mates he had die on him, but this Jacob at the today time doesn't remember, but it's in like the teens or 20s. Somewhere in that range. It's over 10 for sure. Like 3 or 4 of them are Michael, so
we don't talk about it.
But yeah, he's lived a long life of adventuring. He hated every single second of it. He was a crippling alcoholic for a good portion of it, and then he adopted a good young gnome named Jabble Fabblestamp, and he was kind of like the light of his life. And then he retired because he was a grumpy old guy, and he didn't like adventuring anymore. And then every time there was like another session or a one shot, like the first like 10 to 20 minutes would be someone from the party trying to convince Cade to help them with whatever deed, and he's just like,
like, let me retire already.
Yeah. Another thing about Cade is that he got absolutely stacked because, one, he's an adventurer, so he naturally gets like a crap ton of money anyways. But also, he started a business in his downtime, and he set up his business location specifically to get more foot traffic because he was about half a day's walk out of the like biggest city in, to my character's knowledge, the entire world of Ben's world. So like people would naturally be like, man, we've been walking all day. Oh, hey, there's an inn right there. Let's sleep there tonight. Like, how amazing is that?
You're half a day's ride. So if you're on a horseback, it's half.
Oh
a day.
yeah, that's it.
But
that's
if
it. Yeah,
if you're walking, it is a full day's walk.
Exactly, it's crazy. And it's also halfway between that city and another city, which our party accidentally destroyed, but Cade fully rebuilt. And I just think it's really funny because Cade like doesn't ever want recognition for anything that he does, but anytime he goes to that city, they're all like, Cade! And he's like, shut up.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing with that city. I don't think it's fair to say that our party destroyed it. One person destroyed it.
Whereas everyone else in the party was like, oh no, you should not do that. And the one character just didn't know the game, like the knowledge, you know, that he shouldn't do this one thing. And then he found out why, because the entire city like went to shambles. But you know, it is what it is.
It be how it be.
What happens next? So Cade rebuilds Rothillion, the city that we're talking about, the one that fell apart, and he rebuilds it. Everyone loves him there. He hates going there now. He builds an inn called the Staggering Jester, and then he like just keeps expanding upon it, and like because he's an arcane trickster, he like slowly starts adding like persistent magical effects of like he has like I think there's like a neon sign on the front of it of like a drunk guy like falling over. Like switches between the two of like a neon sign would do, right? He's a great businessman. He's just, you know, out there doing work, living the low life. I remember one time because Ben had this thing where like once, in order for any character in his game to hit level 20, they would have to have Ben, the DM, want to specifically try and kill them. Like, not even like people in the game, but like himself, like knowing the character's abilities, try and kill them. And so Cade stole this like one like really cool sword because he was like, oh, that's neat, I guess I'll just keep this, because it was like off a dead guy that he killed because they tried to ambush him or something. And so he steals this like antique sword or something, and then the time that the like assassin that came after him to try and kill him, he was like really depressed for a certain reason. And so the assassin like comes in to like where he was just like chilling, and the sword's like right next to him, and he's like, he doesn't even say anything. Cade goes, what do you want? And then he just like looks between him and the sword, and he's like, you want this? You could take it. I don't even really like it that much. Like, it's not that crazy. And then he just left. Like, Ben was like, you know what? Like, I don't even think this guy cares anymore. Like, he's like, you know what? I'm cool. As far as my people know, I killed you and stole this back. So, sounds good to me. And I was like, see you later, dude.
Super nonchalant.
Super nonchalant. Just like the homie drowned in his sorrows, handing out artifact swords. Very not healthy. Let me just say that much. But yeah. So he lives out his life as an inn manager, and inevitably gets married to his bartender named Hank. Because, you know, why not? He wants a happy life. But yeah, that's pretty much Cade. He pretty much killed the campaign that we were in because he didn't want to adventure anymore, and everyone else was like, yikes, oh well. And then we never did the thing that like we set out to do from the beginning. Yeah. Which we do a lot as a group, I've noticed.
We've never truly finished a campaign.
Yeah, like we never finished the quest that we set out in the beginning to do. I think it's hilarious.
I have high hopes
somewhere down the
Royal
line.
Flush.
Somewhere, I mean, yeah, I think the Royal Flush is going to be our best bet for it. And also some other games in the future. But, like, just the parties that we've had have just, like, they've accepted that they don't care as much anymore, and they just want to live their life, which I love, like, as a player. Like, I'm like, man, I'm so glad that, you know, these characters are happy now. And they all get, like, happy endings where they don't get, like, totally oofed by BBEGs or anything. But also, it's like, the BBEG still exists, so what was the point of it all other than amusing us, the players? And also disappointing the DM because, you know, he said out all this really cool stuff and we never did it. Because we were like, yeah, never mind, I don't care anymore. But yeah, that's a bit more about Cade. I don't think I told most of those stories that I just told here, so you get a little something extra from the Rogue episode because Rogue and Cade. Congrats, viewers or listeners. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's a wrap on Rogue. What do you guys think? Anything else to add about Cade that I might have missed?
No, I mean, the only things that I can really add are only good if you have like a good visual context, and I can't give visual context over podcasts, so
that's true. In another video, maybe.
Yeah.
Cade is a legendary character that we'll talk about for ages and ages. So I don't feel bad about leaving stuff behind. Behind.
I wish I had the legendary character.
Someday, Ben. Someday.
One day you'll play D&D instead of running it.
Anyways, if you would like to check out our social media, go to our YouTube channel, Travelers Tips and Tales. Go to our Instagram, Travelers Tips and Tales. Facebook, that's right, Travelers Tips and Tales. Twitter, @TipsTales. Tumblr, Travelers Tips and Tales. Patreon, if you want to go ahead and support us on there, Travelers Tips and Tales. Ben is constantly providing new stuff for you guys all the time, whether it be homebrew or giving you guys early access to our podcast episodes. So if you guys like our content and you want to help us be able to produce more and get even better at this thing, then go ahead and donate to our Patreon. You can also email us any stories you have, any questions you may have at travelerstipsandtales@gmail.com. And also, if you want to see some other kind of homebrew stuff, go check out our website, travelerstipsandtales.com.
Yeah. Do all of those things right now.
Except for Twitter, Tumblr, and Facebook, because we hardly use those.
No, do all of them. Look at the no tweets that we have.
We have a couple tweets. We have a couple posts on Tumblr as well.
I think I tweeted from our Twitter once.
I think I tweeted from it like 2 or 3 times.
It wasn't even D&D related. I was just like, this is what people use Twitter for, yes? Their current moods, yes.
Facebook I'm mostly using just to kind of get our name out there a little bit.
But,
It doesn't really work that well.
Any Patreon news, Benjamin?
Only one. We have a high enough tiered patron to shout out.
Yeah.
Yo.
Who could that be? Who could that be? Let me think.
It's my mom.
Thank you, Ben's
Yes!
mom.
Oh my goodness! How nice of her.
Yes, and with that particular tier, she gets access to all of our content, both early and, at the scheduled time. She gets to talk to all of us if she so chooses to, either all at once or separately, one-on-one. She also gets shouted out on our podcast.
And, like, homebrew stuff if she ever wants to use it for D&D.
Oy. If my mom ever starts playing D&D, I'm in trouble.
Oh, yeah, dude. She'll
She'll be hitting me up all the
destroy you.
time. Oh, yeah, she'll hit me up all the time, like, hey, what do you think about this encounter? And I'm like, that's like a CR 50 encounter. She's like,
What level are your players? Level 2.
what?
They'll figure it out.
What?
They'll figure it out.
No.
What? I've got 80 players. No!
Oh my god.
Jeez. One turn is going to take all session, man.
One turn is going to take 5 hours.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a rogue.
Or a fighter.
To do. It's a lot of
Fighter.
counting to do. Damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyways, yes, if you would also like to be shouted out on our podcast and or talk to us and or gain access to all of our cool stuff, please go and like and subscribe on Patreon and, to pick the tier you want with the rewards that you want and join us on the Travelers team, and then maybe I'll put you in as a custom character in my game in Dragonvale as like a background character because I think it's really cool to do that.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe and stuff.
Yeah, we want to be able to not just pimp ourselves out on Patreon.
Do the
Yeah.
stuff!
Do Professional podcast, everybody.
if you
Thank
like
you
it,
and good night.
If you like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, then we can hopefully in the future monetize, which means we don't have to pimp ourselves out on Patreon so hard.
We are a professional podcast.
I repeat, do the stuff!
We are a professional podcast, everyone. Thank you and good night.